my darlings, and welcome to a new episode of After Dark Fairy Tales. I'm back with UAP Witnesses Part 4, and I hope you got a chance to look at the other 3. Hope you enjoyed it, but I'm back with a new episode, and I'm glad that you're joining me tonight. This should be pretty interesting with these UFO witness accounts, or UAP witness accounts, however you want to say it. And I'm glad you're here. I want to say thank you for joining me tonight. And I want to give a shout out to a sweet lady of mine. And I hope she's listening, and I hope she enjoys these episodes too. And I want to say a nice little love you to her. And I want to say to all of my subscribers, I want to thank you for supporting my channel and listening to my stories and tolerating my voice. But I'm going to hop right into these UFO witness accounts. And if you're new to my channel and you're new to this video, please subscribe. I would like to have you as part of the After Dark Fairy Tale family. You would be my After Dark Fairy Tale darling, as I would call you. I hope you won't mind it. If you're a guy, I hope you won't mind it either. But please subscribe so you can get more of these strange accounts. I try to upload them every week, so you subscribe, you'll be updated, and you'll know what's coming for you. You'll be updated with each story in each of my videos. So, but I'm gonna hop into these UFO accounts, and hope you enjoy them tonight. So here we go. This account took place. These accounts actually took place in France, Canada, and Switzerland. So this should be interesting. It's the witness is a man from France. Doesn't really give his name, so here's what he saw. In September 30th, 1954, I found myself in a peculiar state of drowsiness, walking away from my team of 8 construction workers. Less than 10 meters away from me, on a slope, I saw a man. His head was covered with an opaque glass helmet with a visor coming down to his chest. He wore gray overalls and short boots. In his hand, he held an elongated object, which could have been a pistol or could have been a metal rod. On his chest was a light. He was standing in front of a large, shining dome, which floated about 3 feet off the ground. Above the cupola of the machine were objects like rotating wings or blades. Then suddenly, the strange man vanished, and I couldn't explain how he did, since he did not vanish from my field of vision by walking away, but vanished like an image one erases suddenly. Then I heard a strange whistling sound, and the dome rose by successive jerks in a vertical direction. And then it too was erased in a sort of blue haze. 6 of my team also confirmed these details. What was that about? Well, that's I don't know how to explain that. That's weird. You're a construction worker and you're in a daze and you see the man from space right in front of you, standing in the middle of the road, okay? I don't know how I would react to that. Would I run? Would I haul ass? I might, yeah. But I don't know. What would you do in that situation? You saw something that looked like a stormtrooper in front of you with a spacecraft behind him. I don't know. But on to the next witness account. And this witness is a teenager from France. And here's their story. On August 16th, 1997, my brother and I saw a red ball to our left coming down and hovering at tree height. It then left at fantastic speed. The object was a disc about 7.5 meters in diameter with a red dome and rotating fins under it. It emitted a yellow-orange glow. That witness account was pretty short, but another weird one. So some of these craft, the way they're described, they're kind of like, it's weird. They're kind of like jellyfish in a way. It's like these machines are like living like biomechanical organisms, but yeah, they come in all different shapes and sizes, whatever these things are. So then here's the next witness account. This is a woman from France, and here's what she saw on a Sunday evening. On Sunday evening, February 15th, 1998, I was driving with 2 other people on autoroute RN13 between Urfrex and Saint-André-de-la-Loire when we spotted 4 luminous objects in the sky forming one shape or formation. It had a spherical form and remained stationary in front of us. As we drove into Urfrex, the object was on our right. Then somehow we lost sight of it. We dropped off Patrice at her home in the Val-David section of Urfrex and drove down Chasseux D67, heading back to Saint-André-de-la-Loire. We then saw 3 other spheres in a stationary group. The first in line suddenly made a jerky motion. Then the UFOs dispersed in all directions. We stopped the car and stepped outside to get a better look. We then saw the first UFOs return. The intensity of the light varied, seeming to give an impression of shrinkage and expansion. All these strange phenomena disappeared after 10 minutes. We reported what we had seen to the police. So, what did you think that lady saw? There's some weird stuff going on there. So, lights were fluctuating and then they all dispersed. And it seemed like some of these craft are like orbs. So, weird stuff. Here's another witness account, and this is from a man in Canada. And here's what he witnessed. On November 7th, 1990, I was the first to report what turned out to be the largest UFO sighting in Canada. I was at that time the lifeguard at the Hotel Bonaventure in Montreal. The swimming pool was on the roof. I noticed a woman who was floating on her back, motionless, for about 10 minutes. I went to her to see if she was all right. She just pointed silently up to the sky. When I first saw those lights, I was stunned. They were very bright. I first saw yellow lights. I would say 6, 7, or 8 spots within the shape of an egg. It didn't move an inch from what I could see. Everywhere I moved around the roof, the thing always seemed to be right over my head. I said, "Somebody pinch me because I don't believe what I saw." I called the hotel manager and rumors spread like wildfire through the hotel. The police arrived and called for help when they witnessed the overwhelming display of lights and a large crowd that had gathered. Photographers were taking pictures, and the TV people were there too. The lights now seemed to be a coldish white, almost bluey, and incredibly bright and sharp, like pencils of light. After approximately 2 hours and 15 minutes, they began to move slowly from the west to the east. When they were far away, they still resembled a shape or formation, like a glittering crown in the sky. It was really something to witness. It will always stick in my memory as something strange and very exciting. Well, I know that had to be a phenomenon to see. So what do you think? What do you think he saw? What was that? So it was hovering over the hotel. I don't know, egg-shaped. So it sounds a lot like the Pentagon videos that were released with this pill-shaped object. So a lot of them are kind of like oval and oblong kind of shape. Weird stuff. But here's another witness account. And this witness is a teenager from Switzerland. And here's what they saw. My name is Alex Carrera, and I am 17 years of age. My family live in Geneva, Switzerland. We were spending the Christmas holidays in Kimsar, Rajasthan State, India. On Christmas Eve, December 24th, 1997, I was standing outside our rented villa with my parents and brother and sister when we noticed a crowd of 10 to 12 local people looking up at the sky. When we looked up also, we were struck by the sight of a bright yellow or orange UFO, soundless, with a yellow-orange glow or aura emanating from it. The UFO approached Kimsar from the east at an extremely high altitude, flying about at between 50 to 70 degrees above the horizon. Some of the local witnesses argued that it was a satellite, but the direction of the object wasn't straight like a satellite. The object followed 3 different courses. I know the sky well and have been studying astronomy for years. I know this was not a star. It couldn't have been a distant electric light because there are no lights in Kimsar because there is no electricity. The UFO performed its strange turning maneuvers for another 5 minutes before it disappeared in the west. We were left in doubt about what we had all seen. It was spectacular and strange to witness. Another weird account. And you'll always know when you're looking at an unusual, whatever these things are, unusual craft, they'll always do these incredible maneuvers in the sky, no matter how big they are. And you know that most of our conventional aircraft that we're used to seeing in the sky cannot just stop on a dime or go in reverse. But a lot of these craft have these characteristics. They claim it's because of their propulsion systems. They call them electromagnetic propulsion systems, where it kind of like bends gravity around the craft itself. So it's like whatever is piloting these craft, it's like they're like in another dimension, so they can't feel the G-forces, so they can drop from like 5,000 feet down to 500 feet, and the pilot won't be mush inside the cockpit. So that's what these craft are capable of doing. I don't know if it's top secret technology. It could be, but I don't know. You let me know what you think. But here's the next witness. And these witness accounts take place in Portugal and Brazil. Now, this first case is from a man in Brazil, and here's what he experienced. I am Antonio de Glacis Santos, commander of military police in Três Corações, south of Rio de Janeiro. In February 1980, I rushed over to my neighbor's house because the back garden was brightly illuminated as though something was on fire. I then witnessed very clearly a creature about the height of a human being its arms were extended, and I heard a low whining noise, like a puppy. I couldn't see details because of the extremely bright light. My neighbor reached out and touched the creature, then fell back as though experiencing an electric shock. I felt afraid, but not a normal fear, more like a sense of awe. I still get goosebumps when I think about the incident. There seemed to be a fire around the creature, but it didn't burn anything. We looked up and saw an object hovering overhead, but again, because of the bright light, I could not make out any details. It seemed as though flashes of light were also exploding in the treetops. I heard something that sounded like a beating rhythm, then suddenly everything went dark and quiet. I now believe that on other planets and other solar systems, there exist forces which can manifest themselves here. I can think of no other explanation for this incident, which was beyond my capacity to observe accurately. Well, that's interesting. Now, they claim that when you actually see the occupants of these craft, I think they call that the close encounter of the third kind, or maybe close encounter of the second kind. I'm not sure if I got my order right. The close encounter of the first kind is like when you just see the craft. Then the close encounter of the second kind is when I think you see the occupant of the craft. And then you have close encounter of the third kind where the craft physically affects the witness. Like maybe the lights on the craft kind of like leave burn marks on the witness's skin or something like that. So then they also have a fourth encounter, a close encounter of the fourth kind where that's actually abduction. So I don't know. Is it evil spirits playing tricks in this world? They said that spirits that peep and mutter. And they say that actually the word demon means technology. And a lot of these craft is like advanced technology. So I don't know. I'm a Christian, so I don't know what these things could be. It could be anything. So, but enough blabbing. Here's the next witness. And this witness is a woman from Portugal. And here's her witness account. My name is Cristina Marto dan Pimento. I am a reporter. On New Year's Eve, December 31st, 1997, my husband and I were at a seaside party in Funchal, which is on the south shore of Madeira Island in the Atlantic Ocean, 912 kilometers east of Morocco. We were watching the New Year's festivities, all the fireworks in the sky. Then, several people at the party called my attention to a red and motionless light above Funchal. The ovni suddenly made a very tight circle, returned to its initial position, and a few seconds later, it accelerated at great speed in a vertical direction. We were all quite amazed at the sight. A British couple at the festival videotaped the UFO as it hovered. The next day, I telephoned the Forças Aéreas Portuguese, or FAP, headquarters in Lisboa. The Portuguese Air Force told me that they had no flights, neither planes nor helicopters, and no satellites were over Madeira at that time. Well, I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. These stories, they get crazier and crazier. Now, here's another one. This is from another woman, and she, wait a minute, let me make sure. Yeah, this one takes place in Brazil, and here's her account of what she saw. I hope you can take it. My goodness, it's very strange, but here's what she saw. Here's her story. Hello, My name is Messias D. Oliveira. On February 22nd, 1997, at 4:58 p.m., I was walking through the Barro de Nordeste in Aracaju, João Pessoa, Brazil. As I walked by the Campo Stadium bus stop, I observed an oval-shaped light, extremely bright, rising into the air, giving the appearance of being hidden behind the bus station. It gave off whitish smoke. At first, I thought it was a teardrop-shaped fireworks display before realizing it was far stranger than that. I thought to myself, it's going to fall, but the object continued to rise noiselessly into the air. It appeared to be huge and like nothing I had ever seen. I was very afraid. Yeah. They said that you either get two responses when you see these unusual craft in the sky. One is like shock and awe or astonishment. And then they said another one's kind of like a dread of the unknown, because you really don't know what this thing is. So it's like you've never seen it before. But those are kind of like the two responses. But here's the next witness account. And this is from a man in Brazil. And here's his story. On August 21st, I, Roberto Rabilo, saw a huge UFO over the city of Cubatão, Sao Paulo. When I arrived at my job at the ETA water treatment station, there were 3 other fellows watching the phenomenon. It was 12:58 a.m., the dawn of August 21st, and I looked to the north, and there was a UFO at a low altitude. One of the technicians said that it must be a short circuit in a near energy tower. Then we ascended the tower and realized that thing we were seeing was not ordinary. The UFO was higher than the energy tower. It had a red light on top and 3 others red lights below it in a triangular shape. The lights did not blink. Seconds later, between the red lights, a lot of flashes, hundreds of white flashes, then all disappeared suddenly. I estimated that the UFO was bigger than a soccer field. Then suddenly, once again, the UFO appeared just like the first time, but this time, when the flashing lights had turned off, from the UFO another object like a yellow ball came out, which flew in the direction of the Casipa, a food factory. But the big UFO itself was no longer visible. Again, suddenly, for the 3rd time, the UFO appeared, and this time we were able to see a shadow behind it, something triangular. Finally, the UFO moved away in the east direction, passing over the Casipa factory. All the sighting lasted 20 minutes and was seen by 4 of us technicians. Yeah. And that's another thing. Some of these craft are huge. It's like, there was one guy in Alaska, he was a fisherman, and he heard like a helicopter. He came outside and it was like one of those black unmarked, military helicopters. He was wondering, what's it doing out here? And it was just flying, it was just sitting there like it was escorting something. And he turned around and looked above his house. This big old damn Starship Enterprise looking craft was just sitting there over his house with these rainbow lights around it. He said he couldn't move. Shocked when he saw it. He said it was just sitting there. He said it was huge, about as big as a football field. So you got this massive craft just sitting there doing something that our normal conventional aircraft can't really do. So some crazy stuff. A lot of these craft are like really, really huge. So I don't know. Some really weird stuff going on up there in the sky. But here's the next witness account. Now, these witness accounts take place in Spain and a Spanish-speaking South American. So this is a man from Spain. So here's his account. On February 5th, 1978, I, Giulio Albafura, a veterinarian in Medicine, was abducted by alien beings. They also abducted my dog. These beings were tall and Nordic looking. They took samples of blood, gastric juices, and semen. They told me that their own world is becoming a dark, spoiled place, and they want to study our wonderful world before we make a mess of things, as they did on their world. I was on their ship, but I cannot see clearly, and I can only remember a few things about the experience. I asked them why they have to do these things to us, and one of them said, "We have to because as time goes by, mankind will become sterile. They will not be able to produce because of the pollutions of the lands and the waters and the air and the bacteria." That is how they explained to me why they were taking these specimens, because they are trying to save samples to grow things from in the future. They also told me there are other races of beings who have a different idea, that of reprogramming us entirely and manipulating us genetically. Whoa boy. The abduction stories are really crazy. I don't know how to view the abduction stories. That's just wild. I've heard of weird things with these abduction stories, but I don't know, man. You be the judge. You let me know what you think about these. Are they fairy tale or are they fact? I know that we are not the only beings occupying this dimension. There are other dimensions, and in those other dimensions there are other beings. So just like God created a variety of fruits and like variety of plants and flowers, he created different beings. We just can't see the other beings probably, but they're out there, whatever they are. So, but here's one more witness account, and this is from a man in Puerto Rico. And here's what he saw. I wish to remain anonymous because I am a minister of the Baptist Church in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and some people might think that I have experienced, or what I have experienced, is against my religion. I have had 3 meetings with humanoid beings from the planet Koshnak, located in the vicinity of the constellation of Orion. Their vehicles can travel in space and can also somehow pass through our planet. These beings appear to me to have melon-shaped, completely expressionless faces with thin lips, tiny noses and ears, and extremely large eyes without pupils. Their eyes are green with scintillating flashes. The expression in the eyes is intense. They always seem friendly. One of them is called Honesto, and he is the one who mainly communicates with me. This is a kind of telepathic communication. He tries to explain complicated ideas of time and space to me. He has told me that they travel in the 7th and 8th dimensions, which are unknown to Earth humans. These beings are aware of 13 dimensions. Their lifespan is about 800 to 1,000 of our years. They can continue life forever with only one cell of their body. They are beings of other dimensions, of other worlds, but they are not gods. From time immemorial, teachers of light came to our planet from other planets, from other systems, even from other galaxies and realms known to us as the non-physical or supernatural realms of existence. Great companies of light came into incarnation on our planet Earth, carrying with them the message of truth and love and light. I believe that our Lord Jesus Christ is one of these beings. Well, what do you guys think about that? I know there are different levels of angels that God created in the heavens. And also, when Lucifer rebelled against God in heaven, and there was a battle, a war in heaven, and God sent Michael the archangel to cast Lucifer out and cast him to hell, and Lucifer became the devil. He took about a third of the angels with him. So these third of angels, or what we call fallen angels, might be these aliens that these people are seeing, and that they might be the ones that are abducting them because, they're mischievous and evil. So of course they're going to try to play tricks on God's creation. But I don't know. You let me know if you think that theory is possible, or what you think about it. But let's see. Do you want to hear one more? Nah, I'll give you one more. Why not? If you're not tired of my voice, here's one more witness account, and this is from a man in Mexico. And here's what he experienced. My name is Leopoldo Morales, and I am an airline pilot. On Saturday, January 3rd, 1998, at 3 a.m., I was standing on the beach in Puerto Vallarta, a seaside resort on the Bahia de Banderas, 580 kilometers west of Mexico City, when I witnessed something very unusual. I should add that I have over 30 years flying experience, including 24 years with the Air Force and Air National Guard. While standing on the beach and looking at the stars with another airline pilot, I observed a reddish-colored light, which I initially thought was a meteorite, move rapidly from east to west. It was much too quick for a satellite, planet, or any of the usual things seen in the night sky. As I pointed out the light to my companion, the object suddenly changed direction by about 135 degrees of turn, very sharply and extraordinarily quickly. The movement defied any laws of flight and physics that I am aware of. The light then made another rapid change of course to a westerly heading, then disappeared out of sight. I was so startled that I immediately confirmed what I had just seen with my companion. I have never seen any flying craft perform this type of maneuver before, and to me, this means there are only two possibilities. Either there are extremely advanced aircraft of unknown type created by a government that wishes to conceal this new technology from our knowledge, or spaceships from outside our planet really do exist, and I saw one of them. Well, what do you think about that one? That sounds just about what I've been telling you about. Are these advanced aircraft that the government is hiding from the public? Or is it advanced technology from another world and the government is still hiding it from the public? Well, I don't know. You be the judge. But I hope you enjoyed these stories tonight. I hope you enjoyed my narration, these witness, and also these witness accounts. So I'm glad that you joined me tonight. I'm glad I was able to share some of these witness accounts with you. And I'll be back next week with part 5. And if you haven't checked out, part 1, 2, and 3, I put the links to the previous episodes in the description box. So please check those out. And like I said, if you're new to this video and you're watching it now, please subscribe to my channel so you can get part 5 for next week. And also, you can be updated on other more weird content that I put out. So I hope you subscribe, and I hope you become part of the After Dark Fairy Tale family. So I want to thank you again for watching this video. And I want to thank all of my After Dark Fairy Tale darlings out there. I want to thank one darling in particular for listening, and I know she's probably listening if she's out there. A shout out to her. And I'll be back next week with part 5. And let me know what you thought about these stories. Drop a comment below and tell me what you think. Or you can fire off an email and just go to my info. You'll see my email there, afterdarkfairytales@gmail.com. So let me know if you ever see anything weird in the sky, some unknown craft you've never seen, just doing some incredible maneuvers that you've never seen before. And just tell me your story, and tell me if anything unusual has ever happened to you. But I'm glad you joined me tonight, and I'll be back next week. And until you hear my voice again, good night, my darling.